We're continuing Ecclesiastes with Ecclesiastes 5 through 8. If you haven't checked out the introduction and 1 through 4, make sure to get that. Make sure to take a look at that video. We're just going through here, basically stream of consciousness, whatever God's leading us to talk about. We're not going to get too in-depth on every single passage, but Ecclesiastes is one of my favorite books of the Bible, and hopefully you'll see why. There's a lot of wisdom in here and a lot of instruction for how to just live life and how to follow after God, and that following after God is more important than anything else we can ever do in our lives. Riches, status, titles, whatever we're chasing after in this world, our looks, respect, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, it's all meaningless. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, we just read in chapter 3 and chapter 4. It's all meaningless. Ecclesiastes 5. Guard your steps when you go to the house of God. Go near to listen rather than to offer the sacrifice of fools, who do not know what they do wrong. Do not be quick with your mouth. Do not be hasty in your heart. To utter anything before God, God is in heaven, and you are on earth. So let your words be few. As a dream comes when there are many cares, so the speech of a fool when there are many words. When you make a vow to God, do not delay in fulfilling it. He has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. It is better not to vow than to make a vow and not fulfill it. Do not let your mouth lead you into sin, and do not protest the temple messenger. My vow was a mistake. Why should God be angry at what you say and destroy the work of your hands? Much dreaming and many words are meaningless. Therefore, stand in awe of God. If you see the poor oppressed in a district, and justice and rights denied, do not be surprised at such things. And this happens in every government throughout all history. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's okay. It doesn't mean it shouldn't hurt us. Again, if you go back and look at Ecclesiastes 1 through 4 in our commentary there, we do have time to hate injustice. We do have time to hate sin. At the same time, if we dwell there, if we're surprised by it, human beings are selfish. We're power hungry, we're wealth hungry, we seek after the things of this world, and in every generation, whether it's a monarchy or whether it's a democracy or a republic or communism, whatever it is, people are corrupt in their hearts, we're corrupt in our souls. There's not one good person that's ever walked the face of this earth, and people don't like to hear that. Jesus Christ is the only one that was perfect, and the rest of us do have bends toward sin, bends toward selfishness, bends toward our own desires. We should not be surprised at justice and rights denied the oppressed. Can we fight for them? Yes. Jesus Christ says that we are to clothe the needy, we're to give food to the hungry, that we are to take care of people, but the poor will always be among us. We're never going to eradicate sin on this earth until Jesus returns. Verse 8, so 5 verse 8, if you see the poor oppressed in a district and justice and rights denied, do not be surprised at such things, for one official is eyed by a higher one, and over them both are others higher still. The increase from the land is taken by all. The king himself profits from the fields. Whoever loves money never has money enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income. This too is meaningless. As goods increase, so do those who consume them. And what benefit are they to the owner except to feast his eyes on them? The sleep of a laborer is sweet, whether he eats little or much, but the abundance of a rich man permits him no sleep. I have seen a grievous evil under the sun. Wealth hoarded to the harm of its owner, or wealth lost through some misfortune. So when he has a son, there is nothing left for him. Naked a man comes from his mother's womb, and as he comes, so he departs. He takes nothing from his labor that he can carry with his hand. This too is a grievous evil. As a man comes, so he departs. And what does he gain, since he toils for the wind? All his days he eats in darkness, with great frustration, affliction, and anger. Then I realized that it is good and proper for a man to eat and drink, and to find satisfaction in his toilsome labor under the sun, during the few days of life God has given him. For this is his lot. Moreover, when God gives any man wealth and possessions and enables him to enjoy them, to accept his lot and be happy in his work, this is a gift of God. He seldom reflects on the days of his life, because God keeps him occupied with gladness of heart. Joy, fulfillment, peace, hope, salvation, all those things are gifts from God. The things of this world will not provide joy. The things of this world will not provide hope. The things of this world will not provide satisfaction. If they do, it's only temporary, and tomorrow the circumstances of this world, whether it's government, whether it's political problems, whether it's oppression, whether it's war, whether it's health, whatever it may be, relationship issue, something going on with your pet or your job, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you are basing your life on things of this world, you will forever be in a whirlwind or a double-minded life, rocking back and forth, as Scripture talks about, like a boat in the sea, because you're not anchored by Jesus Christ. And our hope and our joy and our peace and our salvation and everything good that is permanent comes from God. Everything else is just a shadow of what we hope to accomplish. Chapter 6 of Ecclesiastes. I've seen another evil under the sun, and it weighs heavy on men. God gives a man wealth, possessions, and honor, so that he lacks nothing his heart desires. But God does not enable him to enjoy them, and a stranger enjoys them instead. This is meaningless, a grievous evil. A man may have 100 children and live many years, yet no matter how long he lives, if he cannot enjoy his prosperity and does not receive proper burial, I say that a stillborn child is better off than he. It comes without meaning, it departs in darkness, and in darkness its name is shrouded. Though it never saw the sun or knew anything, it has more rest than does that man. Even if we live 1,000 years twice over, but he fails to enjoy his prosperity. Do not all go to the same place? All man's efforts are for his mouth, yet his appetite is never satisfied. What advantage has a wise man over a fool? What does a poor man gain by knowing how to conduct himself before others? Better what the eye sees than the roving of the appetite. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Whatever exists has already been named, and what man is has been known. No man can contend with one who is stronger than he. The more words, the less the meaning. And how does that profit anyone? For who knows what is good for a man in his life during the few and meaningless days he passes through like a shadow? Who can tell him what will happen under the sun after he is gone? Ecclesiastes chapter 7. A good name is better than fine perfume, and the day of death better than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than go to a house of feasting, for death is the destiny of every man. The living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, because a sad face is good for the heart. The heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of pleasure. It is better to take heed of a man's rebuke than to listen to the song of fools. Like the crackling of thorns under the pot, so is the laughter of fools. This too is meaningless. Extortion turns a wise man into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Do not say, "Why were the old days better than these?" For it is not wise to ask such questions. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing, and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter. But the advantage of knowledge is this, that wisdom preserves the life of its possessor. Money does not. Who can straighten what he has made crooked? When times are good, be happy, but when times are bad, consider. God has made the one as well as the other. Therefore, a man cannot discover anything about his future. In this meaningless life of mine, I have seen both of these. A righteous man perishing in his righteousness, and a wicked man living long in his wickedness. Do not be over-righteous, neither be over-wise. Why destroy yourself? Do not be over-wicked, and do not be a fool. Why die before your time? It is good to grasp the one and not let go of the other. The man who fears God will avoid all extremes. Wisdom makes one wise man more powerful than the 10 rulers in a city. There is not a righteous man on earth who does what is right and never sins. Do not pay attention to every word people say, or you may hear your servant cursing you. For you may know in your heart that many times you yourself have cursed others. All this I tested by wisdom, and I said, I am determined to be wise, but this was beyond me. Whatever wisdom may be, it is far off and most profound. Who can discover it? So I turned my mind to understand, to investigate, and to search out wisdom and the scheme of things, and to understand the stupidity of wickedness and the madness of folly. I find it more bitter than death, the woman who is a snare, whose heart is a trap, and whose hands are chains. The man who pleases God will escape her, but the sinner will ensnare. Look, says the teacher, this is what I have discovered. Adding one thing to another to discover the scheme of things, while I was still searching but not finding, I found one upright man among 1,000, but not one upright woman among them all. This only have I found: God made mankind upright, but men have gone in search of many schemes. Chapter 8. Who is like the wise man who knows the explanation of things? Wisdom brightens a face and changes its hard appearance. Obey the king's command, I say, because you took an oath before God. Do not be in a hurry to leave the king's presence. Do not stand up for a bad cause, for he will do whatever he pleases. Since a king's word is supreme, who can say to him, "What are you doing?" Whoever obeys his command will come to no harm, and the wise heart will know the proper time and procedure. For there is a proper time and procedure for every matter, though a man's misery weighs heavily upon him. Since no man knows the future, who can tell him what is to come? No man has power over the wind to contain it, so no one has power over the day of his death. As no one is discharged in time of war, so wickedness will not release those who practice it. All this I saw as I applied my mind to everything done under the sun. There is a time when a man lords over others to his own hurt. Then too I saw the wicked buried, those who had used to come and go from the holy place and receive praise in the city where they did this. This too is meaningless. When the sentence for a crime is not quickly carried out, the hearts of the people are filled with schemes to do wrong. Although a wicked man commits 100 crimes and still lives a long time, I know that it will go better with God-fearing men, who are reverent before God. Yet because the wicked do not fear God, it will not go well with them, and their days will not lengthen like a shadow. There is something else meaningless that occurs on earth. Righteous men who get what the wicked deserve, and wicked men who get what the righteous deserve. This too, I say, is meaningless. So I commend the enjoyment of life, because nothing is better for a man under the sun than to eat and drink and be glad. Then joy will accompany him in his work all the days of his life. God has given him under the sun. When I applied my mind to know wisdom and to observe man's labor on earth, his eyes not seeing sleep day or night, then I saw all that God had done. No one can comprehend what goes on under the sun, despite all his efforts to search it out. Man cannot discover its meaning. Even if a wise man claims he knows, he cannot really comprehend it.